In the day's other headlines, Israel stepped up airstrikes on Rafah along Gaza's border with Egypt, a city packed with refugees. Hospital officials reported at least 13 people were killed as the assault on Hamas moved south. Survivors denounced the attacks that left their homes in ruins, and the White House warned against an all-out Israeli drive into Rafah.
Any major military operation in Rafah at this time, under these circumstances, with more than 1 million, probably more like 1.5 million Palestinians who are seeking refuge and have been seeking refuge in Rafah, without due consideration for their safety, would be a disaster, and we would not support it.
In central Gaza, heavy fighting continued in Khan Yunis. A senior Israeli military official said Hamas forces there are largely destroyed, but senior leaders might have escaped through tunnels. In the meantime, Secretary of State Antony Blinken is heading home from Israel. He failed to make much headway toward a ceasefire, but said there's still room for negotiations. Iraq is warning that U.S. strikes on Iranian-backed militias will fuel demands for the U.S. coalition to leave the country. An attack on Wednesday killed the leader of one militia group that the U.S. blamed for targeting American troops. The White House said today that discussions with Baghdad are going forward. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky announced a major military shakeup today, facing a stalemate in the war with Russia. He removed his top general, Valery Zaluzhny, saying the time for such renewal is now. The country's ground forces commander, Alexander Syrsky, was promoted to take over as army chief. In Pakistan, they're counting votes tonight in parliamentary elections marred by surging violence. On Wednesday, 30 people died in twin bombings and 12 more were killed today. Voters faced long lines and a shutdown of mobile phone services to head off disruptions. Some said they want to see an end to deep divisions.
Now we should hope for the best. We have to decide on matters ourselves through elections. God willing, Pakistan's future is bright if the decisions are made according to the opinion and aspirations of the people.
The ousted former Prime Minister Imran Khan was banned from running. He's now serving prison terms for corruption and other charges. The Prime Minister of Haiti, Ariel Henry, appealed for calm today after 3 days of violent protests and demands that he resign. Fiery demonstrations have erupted across the country this week. Gang violence, poverty, and a refusal to hold general elections spurred the protests. Back in this country, the FCC has ordered an immediate end to using voices generated by artificial intelligence in automated phone calls. Today's unanimous ruling cited fears that the technology can misinform voters. Robocalls circulated in New Hampshire ahead of last month's primary with audio impersonations of President Biden. Military teams worked today to recover the remains of 5 U.S. Marines killed when their helicopter crashed in Southern California. The Super Stallion helicopter went down Tuesday night during a record-breaking storm in the mountains just east of San Diego. Officials said cold, snowy conditions have slowed the operation. On Capitol Hill today, senators pressed pharmaceutical companies to explain why drugs cost so much more in the U.S. than other countries. CEOs of Johnson & Johnson, Merck, and Bristol-Myers Squibb appeared at a hearing to defend their pricing. Committee Chair Bernie Sanders cited the Merck cancer drug Keytruda and said it costs 4 times more in the U.S. than in Japan.
Will you commit to lowering the price of Keytruda in the United States to the price of Japan?
Well, Senator, I think first I acknowledge the prices in the United States are higher than they are in many of the countries you said, and not for all drugs, but for many drugs, and that's the reality we face. But I think it's also important to point out that you get access in the United States faster and more than anywhere in the world.
The drug company executives blamed middlemen, among other factors, for driving up prices to consumers. And on Wall Street, stocks edged a little higher. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 49 points to close at 38,726. The Nasdaq rose 37 points, and the S&P 500 added about 3 points. Still to come, on the News Hour, millions of Americans face a cost of living crisis as spiking rental prices make housing unaffordable. St. Paul, Minnesota makes history as the first major American city to elect an all-female city council. And a social media creator matches images of sporting highlights with classic works of art.
This is the PBS NewsHour from WETA Studios in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.